All right, y'all boys, we back with another video. So today we are going to be doing a banner prediction video. This is basically going to be all the banners that are going to be coming up from, obviously now, September, all the way until December. And obviously we won't really talk too much about what's going to be happening or taking place after that. Because, I mean, I don't want to extend a banner prediction video for something that's going to be too far out. You know what I mean? We can predict with what we have now and where we're at in the game right now. So now, without further ado, let's actually get right into it. So, as you guys already know, JP is going to be receiving a new red Megami, and that is going to be on the 12th, and he is going to be there until the 29th. Right? From what I've seen, he seems crazy strong. So, I mean, I'm probably gonna have to try to pull for him, bro. Like, no cap. But yeah, anyways, we're going to continue on with the next section of September, which is going to be on the 23rd, from the 23rd to the 13th. Now, we're going to be having a Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade original story. I do believe the story is revolving around Nanami, who gets kidnapped, and then, Yuji goes to try to save him. I say kidnapped, but abducted, right? Same shit. But yeah, so maybe there might be like a character that's more related to that arc specifically. It could be original character, it could be another Yuji, could be an original Yuji, could be an original anime. Who knows? It could be anything for all I know. But yeah, that's why it has a question mark here if you haven't noticed already. Once we do have that live stream, I may or may not live stream it. I don't know. I gotta check what date that is. That's probably on a Sunday because that's usually when it is. But I gotta be sure. I gotta be 100% sure. So I may or may not stream it depending on what time it is and what I'm doing at the time, if I'm busy or not the next day. So there's that. Then we're gonna be moving into October, of course. Now for the 1st to the 17th, I kind of believe that it's going to be Atsuya, right? I do believe it's going to be Atsuya. I feel like we should have a unit already for him, and obviously now is a good time, basically where we are in the story. So I feel like releasing him now, and obviously not a lot later when we're going to be in the more deep stuff. And what I mean by deep stuff is obviously like Sukuna, Jogo, Maharaga, all that crazy stuff and all that. I definitely do feel like, trying to put him out earlier is going to be the best way about it. So I feel like right now on the 1st of October to the 17th, because that's usually how long they last, banners and stuff like that, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be him for sure. Like, it has to be. There's really not that many characters to pick and choose from. And most of the characters that are left are like very big, like important characters, like characters that are worthy of like anniversary and stuff like that. And I just, for me personally, I don't feel like, they're going to want to drop him near the anniversary time. I feel like they're going to want to drop him a lot earlier. So that way they could pack a bunch of like crazy characters together. So that way they get you to spend your money. You know what I mean? Anyways, then as you can see, we are going to have the Jujutsu Kaisen, I guess you could say movie revivals. It's like a screening. So we always know that they bring back Jujutsu Kaisen 0 together with the movie screening. And this year it's going to be in mid-October, right? So as you can see here, it says, the theatrical release confirmed for the 17th of Friday. This is going to be the Jujutsu Kaisen revival screening key visual. And like I said, usually the game always brings back the Jujutsu Kaisen like events and all that stuff right around the same time as whenever it was screened. So obviously that's why I believe around that time they're definitely going to have the JJK 0 reruns and stuff like that, and new characters, all that. Now on as for characters like who will come for the banners specifically, if you aren't aware, obviously when the game first came out and they did have their first like collaboration with the movie, we did get Yuta and Geto, right? Then the following year we had a rerun of Yuta and Geto, but we also had Miguel as the newer character, right? This is going to be the 3rd time of it returning. We're definitely going to get another new character, I'd have to say. Most likely, I believe, right? Like, there's no way, there's no other crazy characters inside the movie itself, aside from Gojo, right? So I do believe that we're going to be getting a JJK 0 Gojo. And I also believe that we're going to be getting more JJK 0 SP buffs, specifically Yuta and, Geto, all that stuff. So yeah, part 1. Probably going to be rerunning Miguel alongside the new character, which I believe is Gojo. Then following that, we're going to get the reruns of the old characters, Yuta and Geto. And that's going to be from, of course, the 10th, 17th to the 7th, because that's when the screening is. And then, of course, Yuta and Geto is going to be from the 24th to the 7th. One thing I do want to note, though, before I actually move on to the November, is we do have the Shibuya incident date, which is October 31st. So there is a good chance that we might get a special banner. And, you know, there's obviously some predictions regarding, you know, it being, you know, Fuga Sukuna, but I'm not too sure of that, right? This is just something I kind of want to, you know, bring up, because there might be a banner around that time, like some special banner. It could be a paid banner, or it could be a new banner of a new character. We aren't too sure. This is just complete speculation, though. Then we have November. So November, as you can see, from the 7th to the 23rd. Thinking Nobara here is a good option. Like I said, there's not too many characters left, and I don't, honestly, I'd be surprised if they decide to drop Nobara as an anniversary character. I don't see it, and I definitely don't see. And basically, the ones that are worthy of, like, you know, an anniversary, like as a unit, I feel like all those are after like Nobara and all that stuff. So I feel like they should have to release another Nobara before they release the anniversary units. So that's what we're going on with. So for me, on the 21st, of course, all the way until the 1st of 2025, I'm betting on a 3-part anniversary, being Yuji, Todo, and Mahito. We're kind of getting to that point, because remember, Yuji ends up finding Nanami, and then Nanami ends up dying, spoilers, and then, you know, he just starts fighting Mahito for quite some time, right? And then Nobara, you know, obviously gets cooked and all that, and then, you know, Todo comes to save him, and then boom, they tag team the fuck out of Mahito. So we might get a Mahito here. That's what I believe. I feel like Mahito definitely would be a good option here, and I think it would be perfect if they did it for anniversary, because they can 3-part it. Now, obviously, I know a lot of people wouldn't want a 3-part, but that's why I'm saying that I think it would be a good time to do it. We don't usually get that unless it's like big events. I feel like if you want to release those kind of characters, especially ones that kind of work good together, which is going to be Todo and Yuji, based off of the anime or the series itself, I feel like they got to drop them together. They got to. There's a possibility that we still might just get a 2-part rather than a 3-part, but I'm kind of speculating that this time it might be a 3-part. Now, one thing to note, though, is keep in mind that last year, like mid to end December, content was covered by JJK 0. Since it's moved to October now, we don't have anything else, right? We don't have anything else to cover mid to end December. That's why I'm betting on a 3-part second anniversary. That's my bet. And then, of course, you know, we do have the SUKUNA, which, you know, might get a SUKUNA. Not gonna lie, might get a SUKUNA. He's probably gonna be sometime in December. He could be even like end of year, like literally just kind of like how the other SUKUNA came out. That's what I kind of think here. I think that we're gonna definitely get another SUKUNA around that time. Now, let's talk about what characters are kind of like left to release in from like the Shibuya arc. And I'm gonna go in chronological order, like based off of, you know, the timeline of events and everything. We have Jogo. He still hasn't been released as like a banner character, only as a Phantom Metal character, but I feel like he's definitely worthy of having a specific character himself, because I mean, we did get Choso and stuff like that, and Jogo is like extremely powerful, and he definitely deserves it, because remember, he is strong. It's just he just happened to get cooked by not only Gojo but also Sukuna, literally the 2 strongest like characters in the whole entire series. So but yeah, I feel like he's the character that we're still missing, that have to be released from Shibuya. We have Maharaga, so we don't have like a Maharaga standalone. We do have the Megami who's coming out, but that's the Megami with the bunnies and when he's fighting Toji. Then we have Final Form Mahito. So the Mahito that I covered earlier is just the Mahito that fights, you know, both Todo and Yuji early on. Later on, they can release a, you know, Final Form Mahito where he's like the full transfiguration and all that, and he's like crazy strong and wicked as hell and looks cool as fuck to me. So they definitely can release that as a character in the future. And then we have Urame, Rame is a character that we still have to get to, and we then have Kenjaku, of course, naturally, literally the one who kind of like plotted most of this, anyways. So Kenjaku, I'm looking forward to, because I mean I love Geto, and even though Kenjaku isn't Geto, you know, I gotta get him because it just looks like Geto. It's the principle, you know what I mean? So Kenjaku's missing, left to get, and then we also have Yuki Tsukumo, who also is another character that we still are left without in the game. So those are going to be the characters that we are still going to be missing. But overall, I'd say that this list that I just kind of procured here with all the, you know, images and everything, I'd have to say that this is probably my idea of what is to come for the anniversary. I mean, excuse me, not for the anniversary itself, but like for banners from now until the anniversary, and then even a little further past that anniversary, we do talk a little bit about that. But yeah, this is mainly just from now to the anniversary. That's basically what I mean. Okay. Anyways, I appreciate y'all boys for watching. That's going to be it on my predictions on what's to come. I mean, keep in mind, this is just all speculation, but I kind of had like a good idea or a rough idea. Most of the time I was kind of correct on what was coming out next, and hopefully I'm correct with this one too. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.